What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ecom Genius Show. I'm Jeremy Funderburk, the owner of Instant Scale Media and the founder of the Ecom Genius Show. And we're going to have a good episode today. I have the incredible Latisha as a guest, and I'm super excited to bring her to you guys. I'm excited for you guys to get to know her, to check her out. So we're just going to dive in. Latisha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm excited to have you. And I'm just excited to get to know you and let the audience get to know you. So yeah, I just want to start off just curious. I want to hear what was your backstory like? Like, were you always the entrepreneur, or how did you get down this path?
Honestly, I think I've always been an entrepreneur and I just did not know it because I had a learning disability. So I was in the special classes, I was in SLD, and I just didn't I don't know, having to stick to something. I was good at it though. So my first job was at a daycare. So I was good at helping people. Remember that I was very good at helping people. So in school, I volunteered with the disabled kids. And as I got older, I worked at a daycare, and then I worked at a nursing facility. So I worked at a SNF and I worked at an ALF. SNF simply means skilled nursing facility. ALF means assistant living facility. So I've been an administrator and an administrative assistant. I know what it's like to have to wash the dishes for the clients and also entertain the state. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything I've done has always been to service other people, but it just didn't stick. And I had the jobs for a long period of time, but it always felt like I should be doing something else. And I wanted to do something else, and I didn't know what that looked like.
So how long were you on that employee path before you kind of start to figure out what that looked like?
Honestly, it was off and on, right? So it's I graduated school. So, your mom's like, you're going to have to get a job. So I go get a job at daycare because I didn't go right off to school because, again, school intimidated me. So I need you to remember that school intimidated me. And so I just kind of worked at the daycare, and I did that for a couple, and I was good at it. So if you're good at something, stay there, right? So then we moved, and I ended up at an SNF, which is a skilled nursing facility, and I loved it. I loved because I was the administrative assistant, so I kind of ran everything, and I liked it that. But I noticed the boss who owned the facility was coming and going when she wanted to, and it's I'm calling you, I need your assistance. And you're basically telling me to kind of figure it out, And I was like, wait a minute, I don't think I like this, And then it wasn't until the year of 2010, I had did a whole lot of stuff, but I started teaching young girls authentically how to do prophetic and praise dancing in the church. That's how I started. In 2010, I did my whole EIN number, didn't really know what it was going to look like previous to that. And it wasn't until a couple of days ago, maybe a month or so, I was going through some stuff and I realized I had names of businesses that I would write down for years that went past me actually starting a business. I wanted to do something, I think it was called extended care or helping hands. And I had the little logo all made up and everything. I don't know what came of it, but I had it, I just never did anything with it. And it was called Interpretations. And that just means to go beyond what you see. And I would go into the communities and I would teach at the different churches and I would teach the young girls. And it's it's not just dancing. It's never been just dancing for me. I do not entertain on any level. I knew how to minister. And so it was just kind of but in that, so that's when it started in 2010. And so I did not have a job. What pushed me not is because once I got pregnant with my son in 2005, I couldn't work. And then after a while, I couldn't find a job because it's this gap in between, when I had my son and I couldn't find a job. Well, that's depressing. Let me tell you firsthand. I had heard you're overqualified. So I'm overqualified to answer a phone. What are you talking about? I was overqualified. And then after a while, I didn't want my son to go to daycare. So it's like, what are you gonna do? And my boyfriend, which is now my husband at the time, was like, "We'll stay home." We didn't really trust him. I didn't trust people with my kids. So my husband, but he was my boyfriend then, was like, "Hey, just stay home and do what you need to do." So from that point on, it's always been that entrepreneurship type thing.
That's awesome. I think that's like a huge blessing when it's like you don't have the job, major life stuff comes up, and you're like forced into entrepreneurship.
Forced into entrepreneurship. And that's kind of like, it's almost like your purpose is standing in front of you and you don't realize it, because life, statistics, circumstances say, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes you don't always get to see the blessing behind the fact that I did, just at the time before he became my husband, my baby daddy, he took care of me. I did not have to work. I did not have a need to have a job. A lot of people can't say that, but I couldn't enjoy it freely because it didn't click, because it went against the norm. You need to work, you need to do this, you need to provide, but I was provided for. And it wasn't until I got older that I understood what the process was, that my purpose was like in front of me, like, "Hey girl, hey." But I didn't see it. So,
That's cool. So what were some of the things that helped you overcome that? Like obviously the life stuff, but the mental shifts.
Well, in 2010, 2014, because I'm going fast. So 2014, I decided I was going to go back to school. I had 3 kids. Me and my husband were married. I had 3 kids. I want to do something. I still had interpretations, but I had this other passion, which was coaching. And so I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't want to be in school long, but inside I knew I had to finish school. Didn't understand it then. I understand it now. So I returned to school at the same time. I had my son, and then circumstances led to us homeschooling. So now I have to homeschool my son. I have an infant, so that's 3 kids, and I'm going to start school October of 2014. If you have any type of anxiety, mine was through the roof, because I wasn't sure how any of this was going to play out. So mentally, I had to prepare myself for something I didn't know I was preparing myself for. So not knowing I was going into the life coaching field, I love psychology. I love cognitive psychology. I love all those things about mindset, and it gets me, and I got it. Not knowing it was entrepreneurship, not knowing that that's what I was doing. But first of all, to be an entrepreneur, you have to have faith, because baby, it's plenty of times I had to talk to myself and say, "Hey, Tisha, come on, get yourself together," because to believe in yourself take a lot. There were a lot of things I went through, a lot of things that in my life said, "You can't do this. You don't have the skill to do this. You don't have the knowledge to do this." And my very first entrepreneur event turned into what I have now, which was Embrace Your Ugly. Because that's what I had to do. I had to embrace my ugly, which simply means to be unique, genuine, loved, and simply you. I had to do it first. I had to believe in me first. It's these things I talk to my clients about all the time, which are the 4 pillars of mindset: acknowledge it, accept it, embrace it, and evolve from it. Because if you don't acknowledge the trauma, the hurt, the confusion, the doubt, the lack, the poverty, if you don't acknowledge it, what we doing? What we going? Because it's still there. If you don't accept it, that this stuff has conditioned me. I was conditioned at an early age. My mom only 14 years older than me. So life began to condition me that I was supposed to be a certain way. My dad abused my mother. Again, life conditioning me that I have to stay in this mold. But I had to accept that that's what life sat at my table. That didn't mean that's who I was. That was just like, how you have a table of food? You choose and pick what you want to eat when you're old enough to make that decision for yourself. So I didn't have to eat the trauma. I didn't have to eat the hurt. I didn't have to eat the learning disability. I had a choice. And so I had to accept that some things I was choosing to keep you know? And then after I acknowledged it and I accepted, then I had to embrace it. That took the longest because I got to believe in myself. Like, I got to believe I can make the money. I have to believe that I can coach these people. And what is coaching? And, you know, because everybody and their mama a coach, right? So it's like, what is this? You know, this new thing that's coming up and you can make fast money. And it really has never been about the money for me. It can't be, because I sow a lot of seed, you know, like people can't necessarily afford it. So I had to embrace the hurt of my trauma, of my learning disability. When I crossed that stage in 2016 with my AA from SNHU, my life changed. My life changed mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually because I did it. I proved to myself that I could do it. When I did that, it, like I always say, the puppet master effect. And I started cutting the strings from the puppet master. And I started deciding I'm gonna live my life how I'm gonna live my life. And then I had to evolve, because you can embrace a lot of stuff, but the authority comes when you release it. And I had to let it go. I'm not my learning disability. I'm not a statistic. I'm not my life's conditions. And a lot of that keeps us from really going after those things that we really want, because they said, I should do this. And they said, I should be that. And life said, you'll be this. And statistics said, you'll be that. But what are you saying you're going to be? Because that's the voice that matters. Nobody else's, just yours. Because if you say you can, you will, and it's already done. See, I can go on a tangent. So
oh no, I love it.
Because it's in me, so I can go on a tangent. So
you dropped the ugly acronym, the unique, genuine love, simply yourself. I was like, oh, that's good. Then you went to the four like beliefs. I was like, oh, she got truth bomb nuggets just going and going. I hope people can write that down. People need to. If you watch this on YouTube, hit that rewind button.
Yeah, hit the rewind button, because it's in me. I don't have to read a script. Like, I am my truth, and I don't shun it. But entrepreneurship makes you face a lot of stuff. Like, I know what it's like to be broke. I'm not gonna be broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it's like to have lack. We're not having lack. But I had to embrace that concept so I could free myself and let it go. Like, and when I let it go, I let it go. I let go poverty. I let go the mindset of I can't. I let go the learning disability. I let go all the hurt and the trauma. I let it go. And when I let it go, it gave me the authority to create me. What do you look like? And so I started doing things as like a new entrepreneur. I would get dressed. I ain't going nowhere but to Walmart, but you hear me? But I put on my little outfit. I had got my business cards from Vistaprint. I had did my first website from Vistaprint, because you know you get 30 days free. And if you do the basic website, you know it's $5 a month, and then you can pay your $5 up front, pay like $60. You got it. You got it, right? Because everybody cannot afford $1,500, $600, even $300. I had just started out. And so then it's like, what do you charge people, right? And I haven't done this that long. And when I started, I was charging $25 a month. And I realized that's because I didn't believe in myself. And I'm good, baby. I'm good at what I do, right? I specialize in what I do. Simply meaning, when you're a specialist in something, nobody else has the authority to do that but you. So I specialize in LL Anderson coaching because that's me, but I didn't know that. You know, I didn't understand that. And it took years of falling and getting back up. It's not failure. It's just like a baby. When a baby trying to walk and the baby fall, you don't tell the baby he failed. You tell the baby to get back up. So I didn't fail because I didn't fail because I failed. I failed if I didn't start. But I was taking steps. I was falling. I sat down. A lot of times I pushed it to the side. You know, I was like, I don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. And then your mind clicks. when you realize this is my purpose, this is my passion, this is my drive. See, you have to be careful with motivation because motivation come and go. So you have to be, that's one of them things. I don't feel motivated today. No, you got to have drive, because drive make you go when you don't want to go. Drive have you like, man, I'm so tired, but let me get up and do this. That's drive. Motivation be like, I don't feel motivated today. And motivation, we're not moving. We just go, you know? So yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
So, all right. And there's so much to unpack because I remember at the beginning you said, I loved helping people and you love serving people. Like, remember that. And then you also talked about how you were intimidated by school. And then you fast forward to, I went back to school, started coaching and helping people. So I remember them. But
Yes.
I know there's so many mental shifts and so many things that happen. And I'm just listening to your journey. And like, you're like, that's you, like it's in you. But I'm curious, when you went back to school and you're studying the psychology, which I love studying psychology. And so I get like books like this and like,
Yes.
I go all into it. But how much of how you're able to step out and you're able to coach and guide and help people on that journey, how much of that would you say you learned from school? And how much would you say of that was just already in you and you just had to unlock it?
Okay. School taught me how to articulate what was already inside of me. Right? Like I grew up in the church because both my grandfathers were pastors. You can't teach somebody how to be a prophet. That's a gift inside of them. You could teach them how to articulate it so they just ain't out here doing everything ain't for you to say. So you have somebody guide you. So school gave me the tools and the proper tools and resources that I need because the gift was already there. I was already chosen to do this. When I came out, my mama was like, bam, this is what she gonna do, right? But school gave me the tools to articulate. You understand? So I know how to sit in a boardroom with millionaires and billionaires. And I also know how to sit down at the park with Keisha and Twan them and relate because school teaches you how to do that. So the tools that I had, the stuff that I had in me, the school sharpened it. It gave me the tools that I needed to say, okay, all right, so this is how you say that. You know, we don't always say trauma. You know, growing up, we ain't say nothing about no trauma. We just be like, I mean, that's just how we grew up. Baby, that's trauma. You're not supposed to do that, right? You know, that's not good. You know, that's trauma. Well, I would have never said that that's trauma because I didn't understand trauma. And then I took the classes. Then I got the tools. So school goes hand in hand. But the school can't manifest something in you that's not already there. The school just, you know how the Bible says one plant, one water, and God gives the increase. The soil is already there. The seed was already planted. School watered it for me with the proper water so it could grow like it needed to grow.
I love it. I love it. And like, this is my entrepreneurship. Like, I'm one of those guys, I've always been an entrepreneur. Tell people I was the kid, like the second grade, like I ain't never working a job. Like,
that's good though.
Yeah. And like, I was a weird kid. Like, I remember being 13 years old and going like, I don't know what most 13-year-olds conversations with their parents are like, but I remember going to my dad saying, Dad, I want to go network. And I went out to events networking. So I started young, but I love hearing other people's journeys because like I was not the school type. I tell everybody I'm a 2-time college dropout. You combine both the times I went to college, it still don't equal a freshman year.
Well, you know what? I kept going because I graduated early, right? I mean, not early, but I'm 43. So it was a long time ago, right? So when I graduated, I did that. I would go and I would stop. I would go and I would stop. I would go and well, by the time I finally decided in 2014, I was going to be serious, they had collected all my credits from the places I had been, right? And I already had like 32, which was what I needed in my head. That means I don't have to be here that long. Like I can do it because you only need like 60 to get that AA. I was trying to get my bachelor's, but I told you I don't really like school. So I said, let me take some baby steps because it's easier. So that part, starting school and stopping it, yeah. If it ain't necessary, yeah, don't do it.
I remember going to college and it was like, And like I said, like I started my entrepreneurial journey early. So like I started my first actual company when I was 13. I had 3 business partners in their 30s. So like I
Wow.
started early. So I remember like going to orientations, like, yeah, you graduate here from and you get a degree and you're gonna make this much, whatever. I was like, I already make that much. And I looked at my professors, I was like, I make more than you. So I was like, why am I here?
Wow, that's true. Why am I here?
But I know there's a lot of people listening that's like, oh yeah, like, well, one went to college, one didn't. But I'm like, I still pay for like this is a virtual background, but I do have a massive bookshelf just like this. I
Wow,
can
that's
grab
that's
books.
nice.
I invested, I spent like 50 grand into coaching last year. So you being a coach, I know you could appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart though. Like again, I'm all about mindset. That's what I do. And
Mhm.
so I had to change my mindset in order to change my life so I can give tools needed so other people can change their mindset. So
Mhm.
I know what it's like to coach somebody that's making 6 figures and I was barely making 4 before the decimal point, right? So at that time I was barely a thousandaire because I wasn't charging what I should be charging. And I
Right.
didn't know how to articulate that I need to increase. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, especially if you don't always have a product and all you have is a service, I am my service. I am my product. And so I had to learn like different stages. And school is not necessarily just inside buildings. Along the way, I had excellent instructors. I had coaches, I had instructors, I had professors, I had classrooms. Everything I needed was provided for me. I just had to see it in order to see
Mm, I love it. And I do
it.
want to shift gears a little bit. Being
Okay.
the Ecom Genius Show, I know
Okay.
you've been able to create ecom products to go along with your coaching business. So talk to me about that. How has that enhanced the business? What's that look like for your business?
So I didn't really know how to do it. I'm gonna be honest. And so I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do like my classes. And so what I did for me before I even understood anything, I had a videographer come and we did like 8 videos that were like 9 minutes long. And I still didn't know how I was gonna make this something that I could get paid for. Like, how am I gonna do this? I know people need it. It's not that long. We gotta do, let's go. And I started, fumbling around. Like, yeah, I could take money on my website with Vistaprint at the time, but I didn't really understand e-commerce, WooCommerce, and all these other commerce and everything. I didn't know what that was. And so that platform gave me the ability to not have to show up and be everywhere. That I could say, here, take this course, and you could look at it as many times as you want to look at it. But at first, you know how I used to do it? Google Docs, because I didn't understand e-commerce. I didn't understand none of that stuff. So I did Google Docs at first, and then I had Square. So I sent my invoice through Square. I still struggle with like automating stuff. That's still not nothing that I really know about, but I know enough to get me where I need to be. So I sent the invoice separate, right? Then I would send the emails with the videos on it. Then I got it because on Google, because I had Google at the time. So Google, they let you set the time you want to send it. So if I knew the person had paid for it, I let them know in advance, hey, you're going to start receiving emails from me every week. There's a video. So I would sit whatever day they register and I'd make it. And it's done. Then, WooCommerce, e-commerce, what is this? Like, how does this work? Well, this gave me the opportunity to make money without having to be there, without having to physically, and I could spit out more content because I talk a lot and I say things that I don't always remember. Right. And so I have to sometimes record myself because I just have that feeling like something real spectacular about to come out my mouth. So let me see how this works. And I'll say little stuff or I'll say something once and it'll sit, but I need to remember it. So I started recording. So I sent the videos. Now I'm adamant about quality. So I'm don't have me pay thousands of dollars for something and I don't even see your face. We about to have a problem because no, we're not doing that. So for me, my stuff had all animation in it and all this other kind of stuff because that's me. Even though they were short because I give my attention span not that long sometimes, so it was short. Like I think the longest video was like 9 minutes, but it was good. right?
Mm.
And so then I did a little sheet to go with it. Like each week had a questionnaire to ask yourself. As I evolved from that and knew how to add the commerce to my website, it was so much easier so they can go in there, click whatever class that they want to take, do the class that they want to take. And all I got was the little thing on the bing, and it was like, oh, I got money. I got money. And it felt good, and I did. And then at the end, if you want to have a consultation, you want to talk, you want to do whatever, I can do that. And I don't have to do everything myself. And from there, that's when I learned about Printful. And you have to have a commerce for Printful. And so different t-shirt ideas I used to have. And that's something I have it on one of my stores, I think. I don't really do it as much as I should. I'm gonna just say that. And that's just because, and then everything got shut down. And so previous to that, but that made it easy too. So for people who are trying to do shirts and stuff, and I spot, what is it? SB and all these other things. Yeah, they give you the opportunity to set up a quick, I don't have t-shirts in my house. I don't even have the t-shirt machine, but I make money. They're my designs, they're my concepts, they're my ideas. I just use somebody else's tools and I get paid from it. So it like works for both of us, right? So yeah, the shirt may cost you whatever. Like, let's say the shirt cost you maybe $20, $25 with shipping. And by the time they get done, I may get $5, I may get $7. But guess what? I didn't have to buy the shirt. I didn't have to buy the machine. I just need to make sure I had me an e-commerce store, because Printful, I don't know if you've done that before, but it asks you if you got a WooCommerce or e-commerce, if you do PayPal, not PayPal, Amazon and all this other kind of stuff. There are other things you can get it to, so it can connect. Even Facebook does that. And my store is actually on Facebook. I do not use it. I'm being honest. But if somebody decided today or tomorrow, hey, I like what she said and I like that shirt, I don't have to get a call. I don't have to do the inventory. Just go ahead and get the shirt. And I didn't do anything.
Nice. If you're a fan of the show, go get the shirt.
Yeah, like, oh my God, they say speak life, embrace your ugly. I got all kind of shirts now. All kind of shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a game changer for business in general. Like you're like, yeah, I ain't gotta touch it. Like you're literally just ringing the cash register at this point. Yep. Even if it's just $5, it's just like,
right. You have to market though. You have to be intentional about marketing. See, that's where I mess up at, right? Because I'm not always intentional about marketing that side of what I do. Like even just talking to you, I'm like, oh, I need to, let the people know they can get like something on my website you can download for free, Mindset Matters journal. Again, all that's through the same thing. And it's like, I don't have to keep saying it. Hell, you want to just download it. You don't even need me. You don't need me, and you're going to get follow-up emails. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Guess what? You still don't have to talk to me. I don't have to be drained until you're ready to discuss with me, until you're ready to talk with me. And that stuff really yeah, I love it. I love the commerce. I do.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it too. And you're right. Like the marketing is huge, which everybody listening that knows me knows I'm extremely biased because I run a marketing company. But
I honestly did not know that. I did not know that, but that's good though.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of like all the other marketers out there where they're just like, I'm gonna reach out to people and pitch them. I'm like, I'm just gonna build a bunch of relationships with people, and when people want to do business with me, they'll do business with me.
You're making connections. That's how you build community. That's really what networking is supposed to be about. But that's a topic for another day. Because I get what you're saying. Like you build that, you build your community, you build what you have, so that way, and when we have to go out, we can come back into the source and say, hey, so and so needs this. Because you're in the community, you know this person, and that person gets to go out and do what they do. You do what you need to do inside the community, and then you go out. That's how you network. Yeah.
Once again, 13-year-old dad, I want to go networking.
That's what I was thinking. Like 13, yeah, I was probably running around without some shoes on somewhere.
I was the excited kid. Like I know so a lot of my background is like in art originally, and like comic books and stuff. So like there's a lot of people. You familiar with the show The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I don't. I've
Um,
never seen an episode, but I know what
Me
you're talking
neither.
about.
But when I was 14, I was side by side doing an event with the creator of The Walking Dead.
Wow,
So like published
that's
while I was in high
amazing.
school. So like that was me. And I remember being at an event and I'm like, same event, I'm talking about like I'm never gonna have a job, which I did end up working a job eventually for a little bit. Very similar story to you though. Like you had the kid and you was like, all right, well, I need to figure something out.
Right,
I was working at a job, I was getting ready to get married, and I'm like, all right, well, I need to be making a little bit more money so I can provide for
right.
somebody else. So I took a new sales job that paid more. And they switched up my role and it's like January. And there's like, hey, from January to December, we just want you to cold call businesses and build us another $1 million book of business. So like very low ticket products, $20 products up to like $200. They want me to do like $1 million in sales. So within a year. So I'm like, all right. So I start doing that in January. I got married in March. I got married. I came back to work. They did a big celebration. Like, congratulations. That same week, I did $1 million in sales for the company, like in 3 months. And then I came back the next week. They're like, great, we don't need you anymore.
See that part right there, that part right there. Like I try to explain to people the freedom. Like in 2019, my husband and I, we sold our home and we literally up went to Belize. Because that's what we want. We just went. We went and I got indoors and everything. My husband is PTA, so that's a physical therapist assistant. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you need to let somebody know when you're coming and going, but he set his own schedule. He do what he want to do. We have the flexibility and the freedom, so nobody can walk in and say that your services here are no longer needed, and I'm depending on you, that the employer, like that's what we teach our sons. We have 3 of them. And I said, I'm not raising you to work for somebody else. I'm raising you to work for yourself. So if you're going to work for somebody else, you're going to work for your mama and your daddy. And that's what we're going to do. And if you need a job, you feel like you just need to go somewhere, then go work at your grandma's restaurant because she owns it. Like, I need you to see that. I need you to understand that it's nothing wrong with working, but I won't teach mine that that's the only way to make it, because that's not true.
It's not. I always say by the time my kids are 5, they're going to know how to negotiate.
See, and that's good. That is very, very good, because that's what we need.
Mm-hmm. And they're definitely going to know the ecom side of things. Everything is moving that way. Everything.
Yeah.
When I discovered that this whole new world, I was like, hold up. You mean I can make money on autopilot?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like,
that is true.
Clients that they do $900,000 a month just from us running ads for them.
Really?
Not even touching the product.
Wow, like that. Now that is amazing. Like that's amazing. Like because I'm personal, so I'm old school. So I like to get, and I'm starting to get out of that. No, I'm lying. I'm accommodating the time that we're in, meaning automated. But most of my clients, like people pay Google and stuff like that. I've never done that. Never. But most of my paying clients come from Google, because I believe my work, word of mouth, that's how I got clients all the way in Canada. Another coach called me from here and was like, I think I got my client as far as I can get her. Can you take her? Okay. When COVID hit, we had just came back from Belize. We were getting ready to go back, and they was like, yeah, nobody's going nowhere. You're not coming in here. And it was like, what are you going to do now? So from June to like November, I coached from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every morning on Facebook, free of charge. So for that whole entire year, I wasn't charging, but I was like, just call me, just do whatever. Because of that, I got paying clients all the way in Africa. Word of mouth. Again, somebody was like, have you heard her? Did you hear what she said? So I'm coaching companies about mindset in Africa, because it's different in Africa. Nigeria, the power going out, and it's easy to get into a life of crime when there's struggle, and then on top of the struggle, your mindset not right. So I had the ability to do that. I coach people in Belize, and then she moved here, and I coach her now. to establish what she needs to establish. And it's just kind of like, what are you willing to invest in yourself? So that's why when people try to call me and be like, this is the investment, I determine if the investment is worthy. Just because it's a tool don't mean it's the tool I need. And you have to be able to understand that in entrepreneurship, you may have to work 2 jobs till you get where you need to go, but you determine what that looks like. That's your mindset. So if you got an idea and a concept and you trying to make money like quick, hit you ecommerce, learn how to get them t-shirts out. People do drop shipping, stuff like that all the time. Do ebooks. Because clearly I see that all the time. That's one of the easiest things you can do. I forgot what the name of the company is. You can go in there and buy an ebook for dirt cheap and then turn around and sell it for more than what you paid for it because you have the license. I don't be out here selling people stuff you ain't got no license, but they give you the license for it. And like you said, cha-ching in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, again, it's all mindset. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. I'll never say that, but everybody has the ability to make money come from other places. You command money to come from all types of resources, legal resources. Let me be very specific, legal resources. And you can do the freedom. You can have the freedom. Not many people can take. We was in like the 18th, December 18th, we were in Panama City because one of my clients decided they wanted to gift us with a gift for Christmas for a whole week. You can't just up and leave a job. We left. Oh yeah, because we own our companies, right? So we were there, and then she was like, hey, I just feel I'm in the gifting and we're not even gonna be able to make it. Y'all feel like going to St. Augustine for a week? So we left on the 25th and went to St. Augustine until the 1st. And we're staying in high, like nice end stuff. Well, you can't do that per se when you gotta clock in.
Yeah.
And so I like freedom. And so yes, and freedom looks different for me. Freedom is not millions of dollars, right?
You wore the wrong shirt.
I
was like, should I wear my success shirt or should I wear my freedom shirt? I should have worn
freedom. But success and freedom looks different for everybody. Some people like the hustle and bustle of the 9 to 5. They get it. And I get that. That's just not for me because my goal, my wealth is in my freedom.
Yep.
So
that's what I'm about. I tell everybody it was cool. Back in October, the first week, me and my wife, we flew out to St. Louis. The next week, we flew out to Texas. And then the 4th week, we flew out to Disney. And everybody's like, y'all are just traveling the whole month. I was like, yeah, and I still made more than what some people make all year that month.
You're absolutely correct. And be confident, like do it. But again, it's mindset, and it's what do you want? So for some people, it's not freedom. Maybe it is more money, but I promise you that's not really what you're seeking. And that's what I try to tell people. If I say, what is your goal? I need to make more money, but why are you trying to make more money? Is it for ownership of something? Are you trying to invest in something? Are you trying to purchase something? Because if it's just money, then you're going to have money just sitting there. There's something else deeper. So when I asked myself, I was like, I want to own whatever I have, my van, my car, my house, the land. Why do I want to own this stuff? I don't want to work just to have money. I want freedom.
Yeah.
And success is freedom. For me and my household and my family, you have to determine what that looks like for you.
I totally agree. And I'm on that side of freedom with you. I'm like, especially if
freedom.
mindset. I'm pretty sure you value mindset the same way I do.
Yes.
Now look at the mindset in the school systems and these daycares and with some of these nannies. I'm like, who's going to take care of my kids and what mindset is going to be poured into them? Me and my wife are going to be full-time parents taking care of our kids, and they're going to get the mindset that we want them to have. They're not going to be programmed by society.
Right. And I tell my son, and now I'm still gonna do stuff that may not be conducive to what you need, but I'm gonna give you all the tools that I'm not gonna bury you. One of the things that I talk about is dysfunction. And that's what my mom, having me so young, right? So she only knew how to survive. My mother survived so I could live. And when people understand, like, that's how you shift your mindset. Because in order to get to this place, you know, where you're saying you traveling week after week after week and doing this and doing that, to get to that place, it's a lot of stuff you're going to have to release. You're going to have to let that stuff go, because you can't soar with a whole bunch of crap on your back. That's not possible. So I wouldn't be able to really enjoy this stuff if I was around mad and angry because it didn't go the way I felt it should have went. It went how it needed to go to create what it needed to create. Now, of course, a lot of other stuff stuck to me. Dysfunction, which is abnormal behavior. Dysfunction got on me. But when I got functional, when you look up functional, technically that just means purpose. Once you get functional, baby, you start operating in your purpose. And when you start operating in your purpose, everything you need comes to you. It has no choice. It's been waiting. So you want to be an entrepreneur? Get all that dysfunctional stuff out the way while you're still working on being a successful entrepreneur. And when you get that dysfunction out the way, that purpose starts calling forth everything that's been waiting on you anyways. So
I'm with it. Well, we're approaching time, so
okay.
Definitely want to make sure that you have enough time to promote whatever it is. The floor is yours. Let them know where to find you, what you got going on. It's all you.
Okay, so you actually can go to llanderson.org and it'll tell you everything that you need to know about me. Actually, you can download the Mindset Matters ebook. It's absolutely free. And it just has some questions. So it talks about what is empower. That means to become stronger and more confident, gaining control over your life and claiming your rights. I'm adamant about that. I specialize in trauma. I have a book coming out in June called Embrace Your Ugly. Okay, and that's basically freeing yourself from the shackles of childhood trauma, which I was violated. I know what it's like to be violated, molested, bullied, and a bully. Okay, I know what it's like to not eat or eat a full meal, and it's just me and my mom in the dark. So when I say I specialize in trauma, I specialize in it, but we're not going to sit there. And so you can go to llanderson.org, and that gives you the journal, because I'm adamant that I think you really should get the journal, and it's absolutely free. And you can get follow-ups. You can schedule an appointment to speak with me. That's absolutely complimentary, because I don't believe you should pay nobody nothing up front. And then I don't even know if this is going to work. It's like a relationship. How does this relationship work between us? Look for my book, June 9th, Embrace Your Ugly, and which is freeing yourself from the childhood trauma and embracing healing from the inside out. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, you can follow me on TikTok. Again, I think it's Embrace Your Ugly on TikTok. Again, I am 43 years old, so I'm still trying to get this whole social media thing. But if you look up LL Anderson Coaching on Instagram and LinkedIn, you will find it. And just be encouraged, but don't simply be encouraged, be empowered. You have to be stronger and more confident. You have to gain control over your life, and you have to claim your rights. I do have an 800 number if you want to call and set an appointment. Now, that number is, because I do not necessarily know it by heart, because I normally give people my normal phone number. But let me give it to you, because I think it's important. So it doesn't matter where you're at, because, you know, Zoom make everything easy for everybody. So you don't have to be in this country. You don't even have to be in, you don't have to be in this state. You don't have to be in this country. And you can call me at 1-877-810-1501, or you can email me at coaching@llanderson.org. And if you're local, my local number is area code 850-960-3441. I'm Latisha Anderson, and I look forward to hearing from all of you really soon, because again, in order to change your life, you have to change your mindset.
Boom, and there you have it. It's been absolutely incredible having you, Tisha, and we're going to link everything. So guys, check the description box, go follow her, book a call. No, I'm of the same opinion, even with our services. I'm like, yo, like, don't pay me. We'll do a strategy session. I will map out a whole marketing strategy for you. And then if you like the strategy, then we can talk business. So I'm right there with you. Like, we're both about providing that value. So everybody book the call, get the value, follow her on TikTok. That's a strong sign. She's on TikTok. So that's a strong sign that she's about her business. And other than that, I'll just see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.